Okay, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It has been a very long time. If you do not know my voice by now, that is unfortunate, but I am one half of 26 and Glencoe Media Network. I'm your host, Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka Call Me What You Want, just don't call me lazy. And today I am joined by the one, the only, Mr. Lose a Job, get another one the next day, then get another one the next day, then get another one the next day, then get a grant, then get another grant, then get a bonus, then get the bonus, then buy out the boss's employment, then buy the boss's car, smash the car with it, and get some more money. I am with billions on billions on billions. You should know him. He goes by Metro Meta. Meta, how's it going, man?
Just chilling in life.
It's been a minute, man. How's life? How's your year been so far?
Long and tiring.
But it's been worth it,
almost
right?
There.
Okay. All
sure.
Right.
Let's go with that.
If you don't know, Meta's in education. He is at his wit's end. What's the countdown to the end of the year?
6 days.
6 days. So how are you gonna celebrate?
5 days after today.
Okay. So I know last year you went out with your co-workers. How are you gonna top that this year? I know the theme, the feel might be different with your co-workers this year after the end of school. So how you go act on the last day?
I actually bought a fit for the last day. So if you one of my Instagram friends, keep an eye out. It's going to be probably my first post in quite some time, but I did get me a fit. And I'm not trying to spoil anything, but let's just say I'm trying to get in my villain art.
Okay. If there's one thing, I just got to get this off of my chest. When you eventually purchase your home, look to be in a neighborhood that has absolutely 0 kids in it. Now, you may think that's impossible, but there are neighborhoods like that. So let me tell you this story. So literally today, I'm chilling after a long staff meeting. I'm chilling at home. I'm in my backyard. I'm smoking a stoogie. I'm drinking a brew. And I see a kid, and he run across the yard. He run across the neighbor's yard into the woods. And so in my house, it goes backyard woods. And then like not woods, but like the small wooded area. So I see this kid run through the neighbor's yard into the woods, and he acts like he's about to start peeing there. And I yell out, I was like, "Hey, bro, what you doing?" He said, "Oh, I'm about to use the restroom." And I said, "Nah, if you got to use the restroom, just go home." Like, literally, and I live in like a subdivision. So, like, the houses are like literally 3 feet apart. Like, they're really close together. So I'm like, "Yo, just go home." And so I go inside and I go out the front door where all the like neighborhood kids are playing. And I tap the kid who lives in that house. I'm like, "Yo, you know there was people about to pee in your backyard?" He was like, "Nah, bro, I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know, though." And I'm like, dumbass kids. Like, and then like I felt bad. I felt like I'm just like getting older because I just like sat out there and watched them for like 15 minutes just to make sure they weren't messing up. And then I heard a whole lot of nigga. Fuck this shit. Who's trying to fight? I ain't trying to fight no middle schooler. I'll fight a middle schooler if I want. And then I remember I said, "Language, y'all. What's wrong with y'all?" And then they all looked at me and was like, "Sorry, mister." And I was like,
I got you the old head now. You
I got really got like dang, like
I mean you do got a house.
Like, and I feel like I'm not that much older than them, but then I think about it like I probably am. Like the oldest person out there was probably like 15, 14. And I was like, "Oh, I was like 14, 15 when you were born. So I'm older than you." And I was like, I'm probably not that much older, but I probably am. And, it's just sad reality. And I just was like, and then I was like, back in my day, you could pee in the backyard and it wouldn't be no problem. But you got to make sure with all these cops out here, they shooting you. And then you got the people shooting you. Like, everybody's trying to shoot you. So you don't want to be peeing in people's yards, pissing them off for they can shoot you. So just make sure. Then the kid ran home, and then they kept on playing, and I said, "Oh, this is exhausting." But yeah, had to get that off. But if you come here, sorry for our mini tangent. If you come here for the title, we are here to talk about She-Hulk. She-Hulk attorney at law. Let me read the synopsis. She-Hulk attorney at law follows Jennifer Walters as she navigates the complicated life of a single 30-something attorney who also happens to be a green 6'7" superpowered Hulk. And this is starring Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black. Meta, are you familiar with the Orphan Black series?
No. Okay. I haven't seen it. What is it?
She also is in, let me click the link. She has quite an extensive IMDb. She has quite an extensive acting background. She's been acting for at least 20 years, and she's known for Orphan Black, The Next Chapter, The Harper House, Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans. She was Aja, Perry Mason.
That was
Three Below, Tales of Arcadia, Pink Wall, Animals, Destroyer, Sunlux, All Directions, Drunk History, Souls of Totality, Stronger, Robot Chicken. She was Barbie / the flight attendant. The other half, BoJack Horseman. Ooh, she was Mia. Okay, Sunlux, You Don't Know Me, Woman in Gold, Captain Canuck, and Parks and Recreation. She had a few cameos in that. So she has a very extensive background. I will say, let's just jump right into this. Do you think Marvel has pushed their limit with the visual effects? And if you see the She-Hulk trailer, you can see that the CGI isn't the best. Like myself, as a very I'm a very heavy Marvel head. Like I love everything Marvel, comics, video games, TV shows, cartoons. Like I just love everything Marvel. That's how it's always been. But watching this trailer, I realized that a lot of the CGI it wasn't good. Even Bruce Banner with Marco Ruffalo, it just wasn't very eye pleasing. And I know when it just comes to say for myself, I'm not the biggest visual critic. Like the cinematography is not the main point to me when it comes to just film. Like if the story is good and if the acting is great, then that's what's really going to get me. But I couldn't help but notice just how bad the CGI is. Do you think and I know this comes out August 17th, or August 17th to August 27th. I'll just look it up. But do you think that Marvel has become cocky and just saying, oh, they're going to watch whatever so we can put out whatever? Or do you think this is the final product and this is what they're rolling with, regardless of how everybody else feels?
I mean, when you talk about CGI, there's always that conversation of this is might not be post-credit. There still might be some things made. But as far as CGI knows, there's a lot of CGI that goes on in a lot of movies, especially Marvel movies, that we just never notice. And I think it's important to keep that in mind. And also you're talking about turning a person huge and green. That is objectively going to be something that is going to be difficult to pull off with CGI. And I think it's, to be fair to Marvel, there is still a limit where you got to be look, this is a TV show. We're doing this for 9 episodes. This is an Avengers level production. And if you look at the pace and the time that they're putting out these TV shows back to back, the gauntlet they've run on this, even if you take out What If, you start with WandaVision. Look at that budget. Look at how much that was.
You start with Falcon Winter Soldier. Let's not disrespect Black Captain America here. All right, continue.
Falcon and Winter Soldier came out after WandaVision.
In my mind, Falcon Winter Soldier came out first. But continue.
No, you cannot tell me that the back of the TV Marvel was not sold on WandaVision. Okay? The intrigue that show generated is why we're still watching these episode to episode.
No, it's not. I'm watching it because I'm a fan of Marvel. Like, that's it. Like, did I care about WandaVision? No, I didn't. I did not care about whatever Wanda was doing and how she lost her kids and made up a fake town and took over people's minds. Like, I didn't care for that. But I watched it because as a fan of Marvel and just of comic books in general, it's like, okay, if you don't pay attention, you're going to miss something. And it's going to be very important moving forward. And we saw that in Doctor Strange. Like, if you didn't watch WandaVision, you would have come into Doctor Strange like, I kind of don't get it. Like that's just it. And that's why I watch WandaVision. Same with Moon Knight. Like, am I a fan of Moon Knight? No. But I knew that the story of Moon Knight was necessary in moving forward in this next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just with every comic, like, you can't just pick up issue 15 of The Amazing Spider-Man and be like, oh, I'm gonna just pick up here. Like, that's not how it works. It's like Marvel has done this thing where they are teaching people to watch movies as if they're reading comics. And it's like the same thing. Like, yeah, you can get the gist of it in the whole scheme of things if you come to it with just a fresh face. But if you take the time and you watch this and you watch this and you watch this, you'll see how everything's connected and it will make more sense to you.
I still say that WandaVision told us on like having to sit through and wait week by week for these Marvel stories.
But
because for me, when we're watching these Marvel shows, like the fun part for me is like talking about it week by. It's like sort of like the whole anime discussion that they have in the anime community, like having that fun talk that like getting on TikTok after like Moon Knight comes on. Even if I didn't like the show Moon Knight, I love scrolling through the Moon Knight memes and I love scrolling through like seeing the different scenes, like when everybody in the entirety of the Marvel fandom was just so proud of Jimmy Woo for learning that magic trick. That was amazing. When they made the Woo Vision and they were cranking that Pop Smoke song, I was just, it's for me the best.
It looks like we have had some technical difficulty with Meta. Oh, here he is.
All together.
You definitely just cut out. Can you repeat what you said?
Oh,
after it was
like
after
having like binging those TVs, those I really loved like having that Woo Vision Pop Smoke meme and like collectively watching these together. I think is what makes them so fun and why I enjoy doing it. It brings back to those days where like American Idol and Lost were pretty big and Heroes wasn't trash. Where it was like everybody's watching this right now and we're all excited, like, you know, before Game of Thrones went all dark and bad in the last season.
Yeah, that's the thing. Episodic television isn't new. Like, I think it's just
I'm not saying it's new. I'm just saying like it's rare now.
But you're saying that like Marvel broke the mold when it comes to episodic television. Like, oh, WandaVision set the tone for episodic television.
I'm not saying they broke the mold.
Previously, episodic television.
You tell me, what was the last episodic television show everybody was watching?
The Boys. Everybody watched The Boys.
What was the last episodic show? The Boys?
I literally just said The Boys. Invincible literally last year. Everybody was watching that. So there's two examples right there from a different streaming platform that wasn't Disney. So I'm not saying like Marvel created episodic television on streaming because they didn't. Like that's just like that's rewriting history. Like, oh, Marvel set the tone of episodic television. No, that doesn't make any sense at all. But moving on, we are waiting for Meta to hop back in. So She-Hulk reached 78 million views in 24 hours, and it is the second biggest trailer debut for a Marvel Studio series, behind only The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which included a Super Bowl spot. So, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter. The first trailer for She-Hulk Attorney at Law ripped through 78 million views in the first 24 hours that the trailer was online Tuesday. The enormous viewership is the second largest trailer debut for a Marvel Studios series, behind only 2021's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which included a Super Bowl spot. The first look at the series, which stars Tatiana Maslany, spread through social media like wildfire, immediately becoming the #1 trend on Twitter. The trailer is nearly 2 minutes long and features Mark Ruffalo reprising his Marvel Cinematic Universe role as Bruce Banner, aka Hulk. She-Hulk, oh, I've already said that. So we are just waiting. Oh, here he is. Meta, welcome back. So basically,
your take was just too bad. I had to get out. My computer shut down.
No, my take was so good that it kicked you out. But I moved on. I moved on to just how She-Hulk is the She-Hulk first trailer is the garnered 78 million views in the first 24 hours, and it only trails the Falcon and Winter Soldier series trailer, which had a Super Bowl spot. So what do you think about this?
I think all the shows, for me, that's like out of all the shows we've had so far, I'm trying to think of like which would be the most popular character. Because you say like Captain and the Winter Soldier is like the #1, but I'm like, they were really that excited. Like I know we were excited for Cap, but like outside of who else was excited that much for Captain America? And I'm wondering, like, out of all these shows, why do you think this one has so many views? Like, what about Loki? Like, Loki was mad good, and he's a very popular character. Wouldn't he have more views than this? Especially, I think Loki is definitely more known than She-Hulk.
I think what it is, it's a lot of the mystique of She-Hulk and just how a lot of people are not familiar with the lore of Jennifer Walters. And also, it's just like when you look at the trailer, you see like Sex in the City meets New Girl meets a lot of those like older adult that older adult content that like is bingeable means love. Like you see a lot of those elements in it, and it's just mixed with superhero. So it's just like, oh, hey, like she says, you don't like to be dating in your 30s. Oh, I know plenty of people who hate dating in their 30s, and it's like, okay, that's relatable.
Right.
And it's like, okay.
Dating in general is just bad. Like you did a whole podcast on this, dating black in Denver. Check it out. It's just bad. But yeah. What I would say is Marvel just like, are we getting to the point where Marvel's just, because we're just coming off of Doctor Strange, which is basically just Marvel movie plus horror. We had Loki, which is like time-based movie plus superhero. WandaVision was basically just sitcom plus weird thing plus superhero. Are we getting to the point where Marvel's just taking genres and adding superhero to the end?
I wouldn't even call Doctor Strange a horror film. We'll discuss that on our Doctor Strange review coming out later this week. But I wouldn't call it I wouldn't say Marvel is doing that because it isn't necessarily true. Like, yes, Loki was a time traveling show, but I don't necessarily relate time traveling with Loki. Like, yes, they did it well, but did they do it the best? Did they do it first? No. So I wouldn't even say that. Did WandaVision do the retro the best? I wouldn't say that, but they did do it well. Like, it comes a point where it doesn't seem, it comes to like, just for me, just as like a fan of just this type of content, it's like, are you really like challenged? Is Marvel at the point where they're not challenging themselves. Like, you got to remember back 12, 15 years ago when Iron Man first came out, that was it for them. That was like, if Iron Man would have flopped, Marvel would have died. And so we're seeing how when they banked on themselves, when they really went to bat, when their backs were against the wall, they really put their best foot forward. And here we are 20 years later. Are they still doing that? Like, it just seems to me that it's not laziness. It's just like, we're going to put out something and everybody's going to like it. And everybody's going to watch it regardless if they like it or hate it. So we're just going to put it out. But what I really want to see is Marvel really challenging themselves to be great. Like, what was like the last real good, true Marvel film that you saw that really just like not spoke to yourself, but just like challenged you? Jay was like, yo, that was a great piece of content. Like, I really enjoyed my 2.5 hours and I didn't feel it.
Probably for me, it gotta be Guardians of the Galaxy's Volume 2.
And you see how long ago that was?
I can go back and rewatch Guardians of the Galaxy as many times as possible. Said,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Do you literally know how long ago that was and how many pieces of content Marvel has put out since then? Now, as a fan of the Marvel comics, but I love what they're doing. I love what Marvel and DC and everything has done for the genre. But I just want people to. I would just want like Kevin Feige and the directors to really challenge themselves moving forward and saying, hey, we have this bankable market. We have the content. We finally have the characters. Let's really challenge ourselves to be legendary, to be great. Like, I watched, I know this is like kind of corny. Like, I watched Top Gun, the original one, about 2 weeks ago. And I was like, yo, this is really fire. Like, regardless of like all the corny scenes, I was like, this is a really good piece of content that like holds up today. Am I going to watch Doctor Strange in 20 years and say, yo, this really held up? No, I'm not. But it comes to a point where it's like, what is the next Marvel thing that I'm gonna watch in 20 years and say, and like prayerfully sit my kids down and be like, yo, watch this Marvel cinematic. This is them at their best. And do you think She-Hulk is gonna do it? I don't know, but I will say, but like it comes to a point where Marvel has to challenge themselves to be great. And now we are once again waiting on Meta. He must be having signal issues. I don't know what's going on there. It probably is his laptop. Here he is again. Meta, welcome back, man.
Look, they fighting my voice, man. They don't want to hear it. Look, as far as I'm concerned, look, you and I both know She-Hulk, we're going to watch it. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to have some stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to be whatever's. Like, a lot of these Marvel shows, they've been like, and I've been hearing in the community, like, they have a point. Like, from what we're hearing from the show, they got a message. Each one of these shows has a message. And honestly, this entire phase, from WandaVision to Moon Knight to Loki even, and even a little bit and a lot with Doctor Strange, Marvel's telling like a really good thematic story about like grief. They brought it up in WandaVision. They bring it up in Moon Knight. They bring it up in Doctor Strange. But do we honestly, because they could, if they wanted to, be bold, bring it all together at the end, plop it on the table and be like, all right, let's talk about the people we've lost. And to back that up again, let's lose some more people. Let's make room for these real new Avengers. Why the heck is Thor still flying around here? Why is Doctor Strange still here? Like, we setting up the young Avengers. We talking all this stuff about grief. Let's make you grieve. Let's pop some caps out here. But do you honestly think Marvel would ever do that?
I don't. I think so the thing with the multiverse is that they can die in one universe and be like, um, oh dang, what's the word that they do? Worlds colliding. I'm here now. And they can do it like that. And it's just like, are they big enough to do? Are they big enough? Are they? It doesn't matter what I think because I feel like we're on. You
like,
are
for me. Me?
No, you're good. You're good now.
For me, Marvel Studios, like the entire Marvel universe, is basically 2 steps away from being Rick and Morty. Like, they're 2 steps away from being like Rick and Morty. Oh, this place is screwed. Let's kill these people here. All right, New Earth, let's go. Like, they're a few steps from doing that. And with some things that we'll talk about more coming up, they're getting closer to this. But as far as She-Hulk goes, I don't know. I definitely think with her being a lawyer and a lot of the trailer focusing more on her civilian life, I would like to see, like, we constantly ask this question, what does everybody else in the MCU feel like day to day? Like, imagine you're somebody in Egypt, you look up at the night sky and, like, it's spinning back in time after, like, you just came back from West Vision and you were tortured by Wanda. Like, how is this affecting them? Like, we talked about in Captain America and the Winter Soldier where they're, like, basically trying to rebuild the world, but, like, what's going on with that? What are these people thinking? Like, the world like, literal gods are, like, walking, like, Doctor Strange just walking down the street. And no one's even messing with him. No one's talking to him. No one's like, hey, teach me magic. Like, what are these people thinking?
No, for sure. And I think we're going to get that aspect as well, which I think will be a good counterbalance to what we've seen, especially with like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Just we're going to see it on like the true street level and just like, okay, this is what's happening in the streets of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And these are how ordinary people are acting. And I think one thing that is really going to hit is seeing the balance that Jennifer Walters has between being a superhero and being a civilian and how they intertwine and even conflict with each other. And it's going to be the balance of, hey, do I want to save the world or do I want to go on the stage? And it'll never be like them going 50-50 and it being perfect and synonymous together.
I got a question for you. What, like, in all honesty, like, I know in every project we're like, where's this person? Where's that person? At this point in the MCU, where we've moved past it, like, we lost Tony, Rogers is gone. What even is they're like, you could be an Avenger. What is even left of the Avengers? From what it looks like, it's like Wong and a video call. Like, what is left of this?
Well, Hulk is still around. Black Widow died. Dang.
Black Widow died. She was in charge of the team. Who's in charge? Strange is in charge.
Hulk, Strange, Cap.
Cap's gone. Oh,
no, he's not.
Yeah, but
first of all, don't do
Sam can't get a bank loan. You really think they put him in charge?
That was in the beginning.
He still can't get a loan.
Beginning of this series. We have Cap, Hulk, Wong, Captain Marvel, Winter Soldier, and that's the thing about the Avengers. The team never stays the same. So I don't have an issue with that. But
like, if we were like, Thanos drops down right now, Marvel Cinematic Universe, who's calling anybody? How are we even getting this call out?
You would call.
They got no tower. They got no tower. They basically don't got cell phones.
Morgan, you're acting like these aren't superheroes. Like, they can't communicate with each other. They can't. But moving on, back to She-Hulk. So these are the few storylines I hope they take from. I hope they take from the Savage She-Hulk written by the amazing Stan Lee. She-Hulk's by Harrison Wilcox, the 2011 one, where she and Tatiana are both Hulks. She-Hulk 22, that's the one that came out this year, written by Rainbow Rowell. in Hope 2017, that's probably my favorite iteration of She-Hulk, just because she's moving from being She-Hulk to an actual Hulk, and we're seeing her battle her inner demons of just like from being She-Hulk to being the Hulk. So I hope we get a little bit of that. But overall, what do you think? How do you think? And I also, it's going to be nine issues. I'm not 9 issues, 9 episodes. How do you think that's going to be? Because the Marvel series on Disney Plus are normally 6 episodes. So with 3 more, how do you think the pacing is going to work on this one?
Honestly, after watching Moon Knight, where it was like a beginning intrigue of like 2 episodes, and then they're like, all right, let's go. Get moving. We're in Egypt. We got to find this thing. And then they find it, and then we're at the end. We don't even get to see the end. I think when it came to Loki, even Loki sort of dragged in the middle, but like Loki, WandaVision, I feel like it worked for them. Captain America, I feel like that could have used another episode. So with this extending long, I think this is Marvel looking back at past projects and going, all right, maybe these stories need a bit more fleshing out than we need to. Because again, like this is Disney. Most shows don't only have 6 episodes. Why are we doing a one-shot on TV?
Right.
And when does the show start, by the way?
So the premiere
after Ms. Marvel.
The premiere of She-Hulk is August 17th.
They really keeping up this pace. Like they...
Right. And it's also after Thor Love and Thunder.
Okay.
We may see some ramifications from that as well. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I think it's going to be good. I'm excited for it, but I feel like our excitement will have to be more registered when we have like the full picture of what we're going in with this. After we've seen Ms. Marvel, after we've seen Thor Love and Thunder, when we have that understanding, I feel like we'll better be able to like see what this show is coming for.
Right. But yeah, no, once again, we just like to welcome you back to the 26th and Glencoe Media Network. Once again, I'm your host at Flow My Hero on all social media platforms. Follow Meta on all social media platforms at Metro Meta 26. I would say the summer is ours, but we could take another hiatus. We could be back in September. You never know. So I don't want to put a time limit on us. We just like to create when we like to create, when we feel like it, baby. So just stay tuned. Make sure you are keeping up on socials. Follow us everywhere. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Stitcher, iHeartRadio, all wherever you get your podcast. 26 and Glencoe Media Network. And until next time, peace.
See ya.
What's up, everybody? It's at One Marcus Flowers, aka Flo, aka Call Me What You Want. Just don't call me lazy. You are tuned into the 26 and Glencoe Media Network. Thank you for watching, listening. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe on our all podcast platforms. Make sure you are subscribing on our YouTube page. We have a bunch of content coming out, so stay tuned. Peace.